I left after 2 hours of Moldova.
Boredom creates creativity. You know why you have such good shower thoughts? It's because you actually have space in your brain to think.
To have bases in at least 2 or 3 places for taxation purposes, but also just for seasonality. You know, Canadians are so cute. You just have a time zone called Mountain Time. It just tells me everything what I need to know about these people.
Welcome to Where She Builds,
the podcast where two globetrotting solopreneurs share the real journey of building a life and business on the move.
I'm Shandy, an online personal trainer helping people feel strong anywhere in the world.
And I'm Anna, creator of Your Travel Friend Anna, a global community and go-to resource for those wanting to live a fulfilling and culturally curious life.
Thanks for being here.
Let's dive into this week's episode. Welcome back, everyone, to the Where She Builds podcast. I am Anna, joined always by my co-host, Shandy. Good morning from Canada. Shandy, how are you?
Good afternoon from the Netherlands. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I am a bit tired as we record this in the morning here in Canada. I drove 10 hours. Yes. I feel like my eyes are still opening. So apologies if you're watching on YouTube. I am awake here talking. I drove yesterday from Penticton, which is just south of Kelowna, a city people know a bit more, to Calgary. And yeah, it took me 10 hours, which...
Oh.
Yeah, I stopped at Fruit World, got 15 pounds of blueberries because BC blueberries are just
actually
so
15 pounds?
Yeah, 3 crates worth. Yeah. I'm not exaggerating. And some peaches and plums and some green beans. So that took like half an hour. And I had to stop a couple times just because I was solo driving and my eyes were starting to hurt. But
yeah.
We made it safely. So yes, I am back in Calgary for about a month's time only.
For a month's time. And then where? What are you doing?
I'm going to see Shandy everyone. Or let me reverse it. Shandy's letting me into her home.
I'm so excited.
I'm, of course, so excited to see you and, of course, our favorite bee character, Pat. But I also haven't been to the Netherlands since 2018. So
crazy.
I know. And if people know me, they know I actually lived there as a kid for 3 years. So the Netherlands has always had a very warm spot in my heart. And I'm so excited to see you and work with you and, of course, record.
Which is going to be so weird, recording in the same spot, in the same time zone, even.
I know. We're going to have to figure that out. I don't know how we're doing that yet, but we'll navigate it. And while I'm there, your race is happening. So tell me how running is going preparing for this.
Actually, it's going so well. So on Monday, we did an 11-kilometer run, and I was feeling quite confident. Like, everything was going well. And then for my birthday, which was a month ago already, Pat got for me a gait analysis, like a running analysis. Cool. And so we just did that today, and it was so cool. Totally recommend for people that are into running. It was such a cool experience, especially coming from like the sporty, nerdy side of me. I was loving it because when I was in university, we did a biomechanics class. And we did kind of a similar thing where we would stick these little retroflective markers on people, on like their joints and everything. And then there would be a camera that would capture their movements. And then it would relay that onto a computer. And then you would be able to see biomechanically how they're moving, if there's any way that you can make it more efficient, all that kind of stuff. So then fast forward to today, we were able to do something that was like a little bit more high tech. So instead of having to have all of these like tape pieces put on you, it was just you're on a treadmill and then there's a couple of cameras at different angles. And then it was able to, just using AI, generate those dots on a screen in front of you. And you would just run, and then it would give you a marker. Let's say like because they have all of the information online from a bunch of different analysis and seeing like what's the most efficient gait and everything. They were able to make a comparison out of 5, so mark out of 5 for me. And my first one was a 2.4. So my running was garbage apparently in a beginner way. He also said like it's very normal to have that kind of gait when you're running as a beginner. But then he made a couple of different tweaks for me to improve my running, and then literally within 30 seconds, I went from a 2.4 mark out of 5 to a 4.2.
Whoa.
Like it was insane. And it was a lot harder. Apparently I step forward. So I do a heel strike when I'm running. So then that's also what's causing my shin splints, which I have very badly from childhood. And that's always what I'm very scared of getting here as well. And I have it, but he said that's probably the cause of it. And so I switched that to more of like a mid-stance, mid-foot gait, like when you're ending up running, and feels awkward, but in a good way. And then he said like running with higher knees and everything, and just changing those things, he said that I could be so much more, like so much quicker. So then we ended up doing the test. I think my last test was like a 4:30 per kilometer. And I was like,
Let's
okay, I could do
go.
it. So I'm very
Wow.
excited to train with those differences. And then it was so quick. He literally just, the test he did, he sent it to me through email at that time. So I have all of the data. I can
Wow.
do whatever I want with it. Such a cool experience. Yeah.
Wow. I love that that was a gift as well. Like what a unique, like none of us need more materialistic things. So I think that's such great because it's something that's going to help you with longevity, with this race, learning. I am very impressed. I'm very curious what my score would be now too. Like I'm thinking of it, like I'm like, but I know
I
that
could
there
take
are
you here when you're coming.
Oh, yeah, maybe actually.
Yeah.
I know that there are some easy, quick techniques that help people improve running. And if you've just never been looked at externally, because often we're just running by ourselves, how do we know what's going on and how we can improve our running? So very cool idea.
Very cool. Yeah. Yeah. I loved it. Best present. Like
wow. Okay.
The sciencey, nerdy versus like the more athletic person. I was in my element. I was loving it.
Yeah, for sure. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And speaking of assessments and data analysis and training, you have some exciting business news to share in the last week. That's kind of crazy. I'd like to hear more personally, but also I know you at home want to hear as well.
Yeah, I got two new clients this week again. So very exciting. It's all happening very quickly, which I'm loving. It's very nice.
Yeah.
But to be honest, we were kind of talking about it back and forth over text today, and you asked a very nice question of how you're managing the intake with the workflow. And I honestly was like, how am I going to answer Anna to this one? And I really had to think about it. So I'm glad that you asked it before we jumped on the podcast.
Maybe we can brainstorm here, actually. This is a place where we'll discover how you are going to.
No, but I love it though, because what I realized was actually because I'm having more and more new clients coming more often, my intake flow is becoming so much more efficient. So it's taking me less time to intake people every time. Initially, it would take 2+ hours for me. And now it's becoming, an hour and a half to an hour to be able to do all of the calculations and everything that I do after I intake somebody. So it's becoming more efficient, which I'm really happy about. And it's nice to practice those, get all of the things figured out and everything smooth. And yeah.
I've also officially done 2 of your workouts since last week. We said that I was one of your new clients, and I haven't been crazy sore the next day, which is not the only indicator of how a workout goes, because the first round I kind of just wanted to know what the material was, and I think the next superset I can definitely explore with weights. Now that I'm home, I have more exploration of equipment too. But I'm really happy, and I love Shandy sends a video of how to do things, and I did watch the video for both ones because I'm familiar with some of the terms, but I'm like, wait, that version of it, how is it? But I see a space, Shandy, where we could even I was gonna say efficientize. That's not a word at all. Make your intake
Let's make it a word.
Efficient. Because I know that I am not the only client you have that are doing some of these moves. And I think if you were in a space where you had this catalog of movements and somehow, I don't know if the editing would take longer than how you do it, but if you had this catalog of movements, you could just say, link them to all the different videos, and then you're not re-recording. I love the personal aspect of it. So I don't know, I'm just putting that in your brain that maybe it's an option.
Yeah. You did mention that a while ago, and I've been trying to figure out how I can make it. But who knows? Maybe somebody listening to this like a couple months or years down the road, maybe I've already figured it out by then. So
no, I mean, we can talk about it. Like I have an actual idea and system of how it could happen, but I don't know if it's the right shift for you, because I think the personal aspect is one of your highlights and one of your strengths as a trainer of being like, hey, Anna. And I was like, oh, she's talking to me. But how did these 2 folks come about to find you?
To be honest, I didn't ask this time. So I need to. One is a friend from here. So that's great. That's something like it was just a personal contact. She was looking for something. And then the other one, I didn't ask, but I'm going to have my first meeting with her this week. So I'll let you know.
Okay. We would love to hear it. We would love to hear it. Very exciting. And it's great to just see. If your first time listening into this podcast, do this Chitty Chat. Shani is an online personal trainer, so you should hit her up if you want to work out and get your butt kicked. In simple terms.
Speaking of what we're doing, Anna, and your co-living.
Yes.
Can you tell
my
us
goodness.
a little bit more about it?
Yeah, and I just need to speak openly that holy time has absolutely flown by. And I'm like, oh, it's in a few months. Like, I'll start to get things together. Luckily, a friend of mine, Poppy, shout out to Poppy. She's also an amazing photographer. Wild Poppy Photography was visiting me in Penticton. And I'm definitely realizing I'm a verbal processor, hence this podcast. And when I just talked out loud the dates of when that's happening, when I think I'm going to be in Europe, how I'm going to backtrack it, somehow I thought I was going to fit in the Camino de Santiago in between there in the next month and a half. Crazy. So that's not going to happen this time.
Okay.
It's just like 2 highlight trips back to back that I just don't think it's the right time. It's just not the right time.
Fair, which is fair.
So yeah, I'm in the like final, I mean, we're in the planning stage and like finalizing some of the activities and putting together a draft itinerary, because in past co-livings or nomadic meetups, one thing that frustrated me is not getting a schedule until like the day before. So I want to have a loose schedule of how things are happening. So folks, should they have some flexibility with work or like want to plan around it, maybe they're trying to explore a different region and use this co-living as a base, I want them to know what's happening. So that is on the agenda for the next couple days. So
amazing.
Yes.
I love it. I love to be just seeing from where you started to now.
Know,
like
right?
It's happening, you're doing it, you've got people in it, and it sounds like it's going to be such a great month.
Yeah, and I'm really excited that there are folks that are coming, and I'm so excited. It's such a confidence boost, but I should keep it real that I think I still get the imposter syndrome, even though it's happening and it has been successful in the sense of people showing up. I still get this like, oh my gosh, is it going to be a good month? And I'm a bit of a mama bear. Like, I want to make sure everyone has a good time. Everyone has snacks. I guess the over planner in me is nervous, but I just have to remember I can only prepare what I can prepare. These are also adults who have traveled before.
Yeah.
And I need to remember that they are self-sufficient humans and I can only provide what I can provide. And just want to make it happen. So I'm very excited, but also,
Yeah. But it's, I mean, rightfully so, right? It's your first co-living that you're hosting, which is a huge step and super exciting. But then you can use it as a learning curve too, right? Like, staying with so much love, it's probably not going to go 100% as you're planning it to be, but that's going to be your learning curve. And maybe it goes 99% the way that you plan it to be, but that 1% you can always get better with. And so that's something that you can take too. Oh, maybe this doesn't go as best as you wished it to be, but now you're like, okay, for the next co-living, which you're for sure going to do, then you can be, okay, well, this is how this worked this last time, and now we're going to make it better. And then, you know, a couple co-livings down the road, you're going to have even better, even more exciting and better. Well, you're still going to have great people, but like, you know what I mean? You're going to just improve and improve and improve. So it's a learning curve, but I'm so excited to see how it turns out.
It is. It feels very daunting to think about the future. And I think I just have to get through this first one and see how I feel. And I am very excited. I think it is a space I want to be in terms of business, but I'm being very realistic too, that I'm going to have a great time. I'm going to make sure it's an amazing experience. But in the post feedback, I'm really going to ask myself, like, was this something I enjoyed? Is this where I feel my skill set? I want to put my energy and passion. Just because some folks want me to plan group trips doesn't mean I have to pursue that and have to listen to them. So I think I'm in this interesting space of, I just want to go into it. And I'm in a weird place in the month. As I said at the beginning, I'm tired today. So like, I'm
rightfully
not full
so.
energy, gung-ho. You know, we've got to roll with it. And I think after a little bit more rest coming back here, I'll really be in like power planning mode. So everything's going to work out though. I'm very excited, and I'm excited to have you, Shandy, to help us train. So we'll have to make sure that we can schedule that in where you can support us and get a nice sweat on. Yeah, so I'm really excited about the co-living. Lots is happening in the next couple weeks. And Shandy and I just want to let you know that in our heads, we are ending season 1. So this is actually the last episode of internally how we're organizing season 1, I guess you could say.
So we'll take a week break and then we'll come back again even stronger. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, in September. We have some very cool guests that are coming up and planned for season 2. So we're already in the production side of things for it. Today's episode is very cool, featuring a friend of mine and now a friend of Shandy's who has a very interesting life. And if you are in your late teens or early 20s, I think you're really going to like this episode. So let's get into it.
Let's do it.
I'm so excited to welcome one of the most energetic digital nomads we know, someone who threw out the traditional script for his young adult years and has built a life of remote work and global adventure, visiting 36 countries before turning 22. Please welcome to the show my little brother from another mother, Dani Visnakovs. How did I do with the last name, Dani? Welcome to the show.
That was better than most other people in my life. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I practiced it for one time.
Yeah,
she's prepared.
Fair enough,
folks.
Yes. And so, Dani, we met about a year ago, I guess like a year and a couple months ago in Romania for the first time. Do you remember how we first met or our first interaction? Because I do.
Yeah, we looked at the Orient Express train. You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a fun ride on this very Eastern European train. We got off and then we saw this luxurious version of it, and we were like, "What the fuck? Why haven't we been in this one?" And then we walked up to the castle.
Yes, but my like core memory, I do remember that train being there, and we had taken like the local Romanian train to get to this mountain town. But my memory, I didn't know you, didn't know your name. I just saw a person who looked strong, and I said, "Can you carry my suitcase up the stairs?"
You sure? You asked me to, or did I propose to?
Shandy, I already had my big backpack and my little backpack.
Okay.
So I was like, he looks like he's just bouncing around, so energetic, talking to everyone. So I was like, hey, can you carry? And he's like, yeah, okay, sure. Do.
Yeah, you had quite a few bags indeed. But I think I proposed you to carry your bags, no? I'm not sure.
No, you took it. You were just so distracted and excited to be there. You didn't even hesitate. You just took it. And it was like, I think it was like 5 stairs. I just was like, I probably would reduce the chances of falling. So
that was not 5 stairs, Anna. That was not 5 stairs.
Well, anyway, thank you so much, Dani. Here we are today.
You're welcome. Now we're a tiny little family. Cute.
Yeah. And I do call him my little brother from another mother, which we're introducing some Dani to some good old slang here for your English knowledge. Dani, so you grew up in Latvia, you moved during your childhood to Germany, you've also lived in Portugal, and you have had such an early taste of different cultures and living in different places. Do you have any memory as a kid that really sparked this interest to continue to explore different places that you can think of?
Childhood trauma? Probably. It is going to be a therapy session, I told you. It's not that there was any bright memories about traveling around the world that sparked this. It's just more of that my family and I moved as I was little a lot, and then so I moved since I was 3 years old, and then I guess I just kind of continued.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that Shandy and I are really impressed by is that you speak 3 languages fluently, but like maybe a couple half languages, 3/4 languages as well. Do you think this is a superpower, or do you think this harms you?
No, it's definitely superpower. It is therapy. No, it is therapy. No, it's super cool. Like understanding multiple languages, I think gets you in your network far, very far. And it's not even about fluently being able to have a conversation. It's just about, I don't know, people always feel so respected and valued, and they're all getting super cute and kind as soon as you speak 3 words. Like, like saying thank you, hello, and I would like to order a beer immediately gets you like to having a free snack or whatever. It's not about the snack, but you get the point.
And what languages do you speak?
So I grew up with Russian as my mother tongue, and then I learned English, and then I learned German. Then I had French in school, which is rusty and long ago. And then I learned Spanish, and then I moved to Portugal. And the whole mix of languages made it a little bit easier to understand some bits. But main languages are Russian, English, and German.
Are there any other languages that you would want to learn?
No.
Five is enough.
I would like to improve the ones I have. Like I don't actually speak proper Portuguese or French or Spanish. So I would like to definitely Spanish and Portuguese.
Yeah, very similar languages as well. So improving one seems to improve the other also.
I get lost sometimes in between those, like like suddenly using Portuguese words in Spanish and vice versa. But yeah, I believe so.
Portuguese. I do. I'm not fluent in either, but I do know like a little bit in either. So then I do mix them together, and they're like, that's Spanish, right? And I was like, yep, I totally do that.
I had that all the time when I was when I was learning Dutch and Spanish at the same time. So I called it sputch. I was doing like some words in Spanish, some words in Dutch, a little bit of English sprinkled in here and there.
Do you actually speak Dutch?
Yeah, fluently.
Wow.
Ish.
Why?
Because I live in the Netherlands.
Right, but like why?
My partner, Patrick.
Yeah, I see.
Who's the B-roll guy of the podcast.
That's him.
Okay, so something that's really interesting, and I think one of the main reasons why I wanted to kind of break down you being on the show is so first of all, when I travel, I don't actually share my age with people. I don't know if I did with you, Dani, but I have this theory that whatever
You didn't
age
for
of
a long time.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Whatever stage of life you're in is a stage of life you are, and it shouldn't be defined by age. When I was deciding to interview you and talking to Shandy about it, I was like, oh, I really don't want to make this all about age, but I couldn't help myself because I think your late teens, your early 20s are such defining years, and they are years where you make big, bold choices and you make big moves, and there's moves that I would have made differently. And I think what's interesting for you is when I'm like, wait, who was I at 22? And what choices was I making in the people around me? And one of the biggest things is I feel a lot of folks in North America, perhaps too, is that they go to university, they either take a year off, they take a year during their degree or a year after their degree to travel around 18 to 23 maybe. But you at 22 have already traveled to 36 countries. You're already working remotely. Was schooling ever in the picture for you? Did you just know that you wanted to go this? Or you're just like, hey, let me try it. Let me figure it out. Let's see how long I can ride this wave.
Yeah, I never wanted to go to university. I never wanted to stay in the system as much longer than I would have needed to. I had my first business when I was 16. I had a photography business, which I opened through my parents' names. And then, well, this didn't go very well, but I was already working side hustles and waitering and whatever since like the age of 13, like, newspaper boy. And I always just wanted more or different things from colleagues and students and like friends. Germany was also just a very not fun country to grow up in. Like it was very restrictive. Freedom and free thinking is not a thing, even though they, yeah, whatever. Let's not make it political. But it was always just like this urge, the hunger for more, for other things, for a different horizon, I guess. And then after I graduated, I was very lost, actually. I was so lost that I just started working whatever I could. 80 hours a week on different jobs, and also including night photography in a club. And then after like a couple of months, I just said, okay, like you can't continue doing this for long enough. So you gotta look for some other jobs. But I clearly knew like I want something practical, but also something maybe rational and hands-on, certainly, and maybe combined with some creative parts and also with people. And I went through the topics of maybe some social studies, maybe some art or filmmaking, and sales as well, and like typical economic stuff. And I was like, no, like that's none of this is a fit. None of this seems like this is what I want to do. And I also don't want to go to university. Maybe I just had not an improper picture of how university looks like. I realize now. But then I ended up in like low wage jobs until I left Germany for another low wage job in Portugal. That's how I moved there. And there I switched my businesses. I closed the photography business in Germany, started doing my own thing, and suddenly started traveling.
So what are you doing currently, Dani? What's the job now?
I am running a paid ads agency. So I'm doing ads for German small and medium-sized businesses.
Wow. So you like completely changed. Decided.
Yeah. So not really. I mean, I was in photography, but I was also like I'm at a computer since I'm 7 or 6.
Fair.
Like I hosted the first Minecraft server to play with my friends via Skype, if you know what that thing is still. And when I was
Dani, we know what that is. We're the older ones here.
I don't know. I feel like Skype is just became a meme suddenly because it's all just Discord and WhatsApp and Telegram. So like and then build the first kind of websites and done here and there things and just click myself through stuff. So I wasn't a very big leap towards digital marketing. I was already kind of doing something around the digital presentation of personas or businesses before.
So a lot of self-taught time, like you were just exploring internet learning into, you know, what do they call it? Like YouTube University is what the joke is now, and not going to proper, you know, technical
and mentorship. Like mentorship was something that completely gave me the big jump that I'm very thankful for, not only professionally but also personally.
So, do you think that university would ever be in the cards for you? Like, would you ever decide to go to? Yeah.
I actually thought about it a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about it with my girlfriends. Like, I feel like I have a bottleneck now, and it's business operations. I'm very bad at business operations, and I thought to become successful in marketing, I just need to be very good at doing ads, but it turned out it's not the same business that I thought I'm diving into. It's more about hiring people and managing people and operations to make this actually a successful, self-sustainable thing. And I can't do that. I may be good at ads and talking to people, but I'm really bad at building systems. So then I was, like you've done some business studies, right? And she was like, yeah. And then so now I'm thinking maybe in a couple of years when I have the time and I'm a little bit more in peace with everything and more stable, I could imagine doing a like rich kid university thing where I pay a lot of money to get the network. No, but yeah, for real. Like, so because I would need a studies. I would need a study that is above bachelor, but still is like I can be accepted into, right? So like some sort of an MBA or maybe something like that. I could imagine.
So you want to skip the bachelor's and just try and go right for your master's?
Yeah. What should I do in bachelor's? Like,
this is some big ball energy.
Yeah, this is a theme.
Skip the bachelor's.
I mean, I've heard.
I don't need it.
Yeah, I mean, a friend of mine, and he's 30, 31, and he also is going to try and go straight for his master's, but he has 10 years of the same industry experience that he's going to try and prove as work experience enough. And this is where I hate age. That's not to say you can't do the same thing, and that it just, I don't know what the systems do and what do they, especially when you're working for yourself and you're not working for what is recognized as a big company that you might have the work experience, you know, like how do you justify all your work? But hey, I think it's great. I think the one thing that university taught me was maturity. I think it taught me deeper thinking. I think it taught me strategic thinking. It just kind of elevated how I approach my workflow and everything. And I got a degree in dance. So
you say that like it's a bad thing, but it's not. You got a degree in dance. That's so cool.
It is so cool, but I think what I view it as is it was a fine arts degree, and a lot of my time in university was moving my body. So I had a lot of time in class versus, let's say, a business degree is more like shorter classes, a lot more time studying, whereas our courses were full on. But what I mean is I came out with a piece of paper, and I think it just helped me to be a deeper thinker and a more strategic thinker. Do I apply anything I learned in university today? Not directly, but time management skills, how to approach people, breaking down how to complete a project from part A to part Z. Yeah, it helps for that. So I'm all for you to pursue it, because what do you have to lose besides some money? But you're probably going to gain something out of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's even possible to actually do what I was saying to do, like to just skip bachelor. But I've heard it is possible if you just have enough money for it. So, so it's just it's somewhere in the skies. Like maybe I would, but I am not a fan of the educational system that I grew up.
But I liked. Yeah, I wanted to add on top of what you guys are both saying here, because I feel like university is different for everybody, like what you bring from it as well. So for me, my experience with university was that the people that went to school was just to get a piece of paper, because in order to get a job, you needed the piece of paper and you needed to do this and that and whatever. And now, like, hearing from Anna's perspective, the life skills that she pulled from university and saying, like, maybe I'm not actually using what I learned in school, but the life skills that I learned in school, I'm still applying today. And then Dani, you saying, oh, I don't need the bachelor's part. I just want to learn so I can apply it real life right away. Like, there's so many different aspects to university than I thought it was just, okay, you pass these exams, check, get this piece of paper done. But now you guys are making me view it from a totally different perspective. And I think that is so cool.
It made me wonder, though, Dani, do you feel like this piece of like maturity, time management, life skills, you're learning that as you travel while you work?
I don't I wouldn't say it's specifically because of travel, but I would say it's just because of life in general and experience. And I mean, I'm not employed, I'm self-employed, and I completely underestimated what it means in the beginning. I was like, yeah, let's have some freedom. And now I have freedom working on Sundays, or like fighting my own self-discipline every day. And so I guess the biggest learning was always for me the experience. And that's why I already knew before, I need something very practical. I don't want to go to a university specifically if there's not non-practical parts of it. So in Germany, there's a so-called Ausbildung, which I was looking into, which is basically like a higher education that you can get from the age of 16 instead of university, and then you have you become a professional in something. It's mostly, not always, but mostly very practical jobs. So even you do economics, you're gonna work, like you have school blocks, but the rest of the time you're actually in a firm. Then they teach you something.
Right, right. Yeah, I'm familiar with nurses, definitely like at 16. I've heard in Germany, like choosing a little bit of your career path at 16 and going to certain schooling that will support that and help accelerate your education a bit. But I find it very interesting. I mean, pursue it in any way you want. I do think that travel, whether you realize it or not, has definitely taught you a lot of life skills because you've been to many countries, you're navigating eating in different places, you're navigating time management of, yes, running your own business, keeping your income coming in. And then on top of it, all the travel components and different languages and different experiences and meeting new people. There's so much to it. There's so much decision making that I think, if I'm not sure what your friends are like back home, but I know there's some 22-year-olds in my life that would not be able to manage the oncoming decisions and life experiences that you have to handle while you're traveling. So what I'm curious about is what is like the hardest part of your lifestyle right now, outside of making sure you obviously have an income and running your business, but in your day-to-day, like what part of this lifestyle makes it the most difficult for you? And then what's like the best part of this lifestyle right now?
This changes a lot. It changed a lot during in the past couple of years, and I would say that I got way quieter and more peaceful and less energetic. Also in a bad way, honestly. Like I feel like I really want this cute young energy back, and I still have it, but I have it way less. I can feel it since like since a year or so. And right now, I would say, or like what it always has certainly been, is structure. Like structure is hard. And it goes the same way as self-employment versus being employed. It's easier to have structure if you're being forced into it, and as much freedom as it might give me, that I can, typical digital nomad picture, work from a cafe or on a sandy beach. No one does that. That it's still it is hard to then keep your shit together, and keeping shit together doesn't mean just waking up early, which I don't do, or eating healthy and so on. But it's just like, taking time for yourself, like setting some boundaries in work, or like, doing a hobby. I don't remember the last time when I did something just because I had time to do something. Like I settled down in Indonesia for 7 months, and that was the first time I was like, oh my God, I have, like, my week is full. I'm planned, and it's not work. Amazing. I was playing paddle, I was dancing salsa and bachata, and I was going for a sunrise, or no, never sunrise, actually, sunset, whatever view. Like, and suddenly you have stuff to do. Like, I never had this during travels before. During travels, it was always getting work done, and then getting drunk as a 19, 20, 21-year-old mostly.
Yeah, I think Shandy and I can definitely both relate to that. There is so much ultimate freedom in the lifestyle, but there's so much self-discipline that comes with that. And I think I know myself as well, when I've settled in a place for a longer period of time, to have downtime and also a community to do activities that aren't laptop associated.
Yeah.
And to actually be like, okay, I don't have to go anywhere in terms of like a next destination, and I don't need to be on my laptop right now. What do I do? What are my hobbies? Like, people ask me, what are my hobbies? And I'm like, I don't know, travel and like maintaining my business. Those are my hobbies.
Yeah.
You really, like, if you're there for a
And
longer
it's like the
period of
worst
time,
hobbies
you
you can
really
have.
are able to get out of, you're able to get out of survival mode a little bit, right? Because when you're traveling full time, you have to figure out where you're going to stay next. You have to figure out where you're going to eat. You have to figure out all these different things. If you want to meet up with new people, how can you do that? And then all of these things add on top of each other. And then you're also trying to keep a business afloat on top of that. So when you're longer periods of time, then you can actually, already have people that and go out with them and enjoy it. And I think your business also excels that way too, when you have that extra time to put into it.
I actually think, like, one of the reasons for me to settle is to grow my business again. Like, I feel like it was very nice, and like this whole energy and this whole input from all of the people I met in the beginning of my business because I was traveling. And now I feel like I just need, like, I know what I'm doing. Like, I don't need any more input at the moment. I just need to execute stuff. And executing stuff is so much easier if you have structure and like a stable life. We're planning to settle down until towards the end of the year and get a yearly lease. So maybe not that much of a nomad anymore.
Whoa, don't say that, because Shandy has a lease and she's very nomadic still. Like, I think we've recorded, like, she's been in 3 different places for our podcast, and we're not even into 12 episodes yet fully. So
No.
But that was also why we settled down, quote unquote, was so that we could focus on our businesses too, because that's what we noticed was when you were traveling in the van that you were just on high alert all the time. So our businesses, it wasn't that they were failing, but they're excelling now because we have the time to put into it, and we're at a resting state now instead.
And boredom creates creativity. You know why you have such good shower thoughts? It's because when you're in the shower, you actually have space in your brain to think. I really believe that. And like toilet thoughts, I know that's a bit weird, but that's when the best times, because you just have a moment to like not to be jumping around and like people aren't distracting you and the energy's not coming at you. So it's just that time to just have a moment to rest and think and be with your mind. But I wonder for you, would you describe yourself then, as we talk about this like go, go, go kind of mentality? Are you more extroverted, introverted? How are you recharging your battery? What's the secret for you?
Well, this also really depends on the phase. That's why I would probably call myself something in between. I think there is a word for it, ambivert, but probably more on the extroverted side. Yeah, like my girlfriend next to me in front of me, she's just like, no, you're not an ambivert. You're definitely an extrovert.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you say introverted right now, you and Shandy in my head are opposite, and I'm kind of in between you two. So I can match your energy, Dani, but I burn out so much faster than you.
I feel like that really also depends a lot. Like hanging out, like in the past couple of weeks, we're just hanging out at home. It was hot outside, friends that were here in the same city left. We have our computers. We found some online games that we could play together. Like we both have work to do. We have a nice big apartment that we rented, and suddenly I find myself just chilling at home the whole day. Never happened in years.
Yeah. Do you think you're a little bit burnt out, and that's why you're kind of doing the homebody thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm making you realize it now.
No, you're not making me realize it. It's just, it sucks.
Bring in the therapy session.
Yeah. No, but we just never touched base about where are you? Where are you recording from right now?
I'm in North Macedonia at Lake Ohrid.
Oh, I love that place. That's so nice. Do you like it there?
Peaceful here. So peaceful, so nice. Yeah, but July is a bad time to be here. It's very hot, and now towards the end of the month, there's so many tourists. It's so full. It's incredibly full, which doesn't make it less peaceful. That's the good thing about the place. It's pretty peaceful still. Beautiful lake. Probably I did not expect it at all. Probably top 3 of all places where I've been.
Watch out for the snakes, though.
Really?
Yeah, there's little snakes in the water. That's a little bit freaky, but beautiful place.
Why did you tell me that? Why did you tell me that 2 days before I leave?
Well, if you haven't come across any snakes, you're good. You're golden. We were supping on the lake there, and then there were snakes in the water, and I was like, "Oh, I sure hope I don't fall in here."
Okay. Well, wait. Pointing out 2 things: supping, stand-up paddleboard, and I love how you just said you're golden. That's such a Canadian slang.
Is it really?
I think it is. I don't know if Dani would agree, but
Dani,
we always
do you know
you're golden. Don't worry about it.
I'm golden? What does it mean, golden?
You're golden. Like, you're good. You're fine.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Like, gold is Gucci. Perfect. You're Gucci, you're gold. Gucci dates us, Shandy. We have to be hip and cool here.
Gucci.
Okay, so one thing I wonder too about the age side is the digital nomad scene, in my experience, is very, it's altering, it's changing. There's kind of different scenes with the nomadic scene, but I would say most people are at least 26, 27. I've met people in their 60s, so they can go anywhere. I would say mostly up to mid 40s is kind of like the heavier component of the population. So as someone who is in their young 20s, has that been something that you miss, hanging out around people your age, her in this like more starting phase? Okay.
That was a quick answer.
That's a German upbringing. Nope. Rapid fire.
No. Well, you see, that's a difficult topic. I really dislike position because I feel like it sounds very, very, how do you call it? What is the word for it?
Well, I think it's Okay, so myself, I always found myself hanging out with older people too, because I just liked the little bit of maturity. I always found myself hanging out with older people, and I found myself a bit of an old soul. I didn't want to party as much. I didn't want to,
Oh, no, I like
try
partying.
things
No.
out. I just wanted to bake cookies and go sit in a park and eat them. And people wanted to experiment, and I was like, no.
It's just not many. It's just not many people my age that I can share what I'm going through, and it's also not many people that I find. It's not about intelligence or smartness, but just about the experience that I get from older people. And I do feel I'm on the same level most of the times, if not even higher sometimes when I'm talking to people older than me. I find a lot of value talking to other entrepreneurs, and also vice versa, I believe.
Hey everyone, we're just going to take a quick break from this episode. It's your travel friend Anna here with some exciting news that there is new YTF merch, including hoodies. If you're watching on YouTube, we are holding them up. There's some that say, sorry, I can't. I'm in another country. There's ones with airplanes on the back, and also ones that say, this is my airport outfit. And even Coach Shandy has a hoodie now. If you're interested in getting one, you can get them at yourtravelfriendanna.com/shop. And I can't wait for you to wear them and meet new travel friends. All right, let's get back to the episode.
There's just not many young people my age that I can actually profit or value from. And it's not about this transactional relationship where I just want to profit from people, but I don't feel like I'm being understood. I can share things. Like I'm coming back home to my friends, and I love them and they're amazing, but I just can't talk to them about what's relevant in my life at the moment. And it's different when I'm talking to people older. And I feel like I'm profiting and getting a lot of value from them. And also I believe, or that's the feedback I get, they get a lot of value from me as well, even though I'm half their age sometimes, or maybe even a third. But it's it works out, and I've been always like that as a teenager as well, or as a kid. I kind of bonded more with older kids.
Very interesting. Yeah, I think there is something. I've always thought you brought the energy, and you brought this excitement and this curiosity and this like open-eyedness to every experience. And I feel like you're a sponge, you're always observing, you're asking questions that are bold. And I think people who are like settled in their ways a bit more might be a bit more hesitant to do that. So I've seen it myself, and I always know I can rely on you to like, bring the energy in the room. So I also know sometimes I'll hide from you because again, you're more extroverted, and I've learned myself that like being around you just brings my extroverted side out, but my battery dies too fast. I can't keep up with you.
I can imagine that.
It's true. Okay, so in this travel world, you've been to 36 countries. So we are curious, how are you planning things? How far in advance are you planning things? How do you make decisions? What led you to North Macedonia right now? How are you making choice about being in Indonesia for 7 months? What are some things that are the impetus for you to travel, whether it be destinations, people, money? How do you do it?
It is mostly not planned until I got into a relationship. Before that, it was super spontaneous. Oh yeah, let's spin a wheel of fortune and fly to Kyrgyzstan. Like,
yes,
and
I remember that.
And then we hitchhiked last year from Bansko to Istanbul.
Whoa.
We really tried, but two big men didn't really get far hitchhiking, so we just got a taxi at some point. But and a bus. And then we flew to Kyrgyzstan. That was super fun. And like all of the other things all of the other places I've seen, like Transnistria or Ukraine, deciding on the go. That was fun. But now we were both in Asia, and we knew we have some checkpoints that we need to visit in Europe. I had a conference I need to go to. She had an event she needs to organize, and then we got invited here, and then if we fly from Asia, the cheapest flights are there. Oh, families next by. So, and then suddenly I find myself, and the whole year is already planned. I know I'm going to be in Asia in November, and it actually terrified me in the beginning. I was like, oh my God, Dani, since when is your whole year planned? But then this peaceful, the peace settled in. Oh my God, I know where I'm going to be exactly in 3 months. It's almost like having a home, just not quiet.
You think it's been helpful because it's eliminated one decision, maybe at a time of stress with work?
Yeah.
The one thing I know that's consistent is I know where I'm going next Tuesday.
Yeah. So yeah, but like I think it also will change quite a lot. So the plan is to then be in one place for a year, and as much as we wants to stay in one place and have a home. I know we're gonna want to go somewhere. I know there's gonna be a weekend. The weekend's gonna turn out into a week. So let's see. Probably I still want to keep the spontaneity that I have as a human being. I think it's a part of my character, and I really like it. But having a place and having a plan is very useful if you feel disconnected from all of the other social norms.
So both previously in a relationship versus now in a relationship, when you're traveling, are you staying in hostels, hotels, apartments? Sure. Are you getting leases?
Yeah. It was always Airbnbs or hotels.
Okay.
I've stayed in hostels like 5 times, maybe 3, 4.
Why do a full Airbnb hotel versus a hostel? What are some of your components or like the criteria of the reasons why you would?
I like to think I'm gonna cook and never actually end up doing it. That's a fact. I always look out for the better kitchen and then I never use it. It's in 3 years of traveling, it's the first kitchen I'm using, and it's such an amazing kitchen. It's so big. Oh, that's exactly the kitchen I want in my house on someday. So cooking my own, chilling, just like the space, like I don't know what to say. Like, people go to hostels for party or just because they don't have any money. I go to Airbnbs because I want my private space. But I did hostels. It was very, very fun. A couple of times.
So one thing that's a benefit to hostels is making friends instantly. And even I like a mix, so I don't mind a hostel. I usually look for non-party, a little bit more mature hostels. But when you're staying in these private spaces, what is one thing, or how are you making friends? So if you're in North Macedonia, of course you have your partner with you, but should you want to make new friendships or connect with people, what is...
I know, I'm just gonna pick up someone's suitcase and carry it up a couple of stairs and then...
Hey, that doesn't count because we were at a nomadic experience together and we had already met some of the people. So you knew one person, I knew one person, they already knew each other. But like, when you're not
so there's one thing that always works. Remember this, kids. So like, if you're really desperate for friends for a couple of days, you go to an Irish pub it's 11 p.m. You find a group. You find a group of Irish lads on vacation. You can identify them by them being red and have a pint in their hand. And then you just come up to them with your pint and you just say, "Oi!" That's it. You're done. Like, you're gonna have...
Okay, but what if you... It's kind of true. The Irish are always willing, and Aussies. I find Aussies are so like always willing to be friends with everyone and anyone.
Yeah.
But what if you wanted to meet someone local or try and not just hang out with the Irish people around the world?
Meeting someone local is not all the locals want to be friends. The first thing, we just talked about it like a couple of weeks ago as well. Thai people don't want to be friends. Thai people don't want to do anything with you. Indonesians, on the other hand, they kind of also don't want to. But then if you go to Japan, obviously it's also very hard. And sometimes you end up in countries where it's super easy. You don't need to actually do something for it. You go to a cafe and then suddenly people are talking to you and are very interested and curious. So it really depends. If I would want to make friends, I would probably go look for meetups. I dance, so I would go dance salsa and bachata, easiest way to make friends. Co-working spaces work out well, and then super randomly, like bars. Sometimes it's like events or something, or like some activities, like going paragliding or like doing a group trip. Like when I was traveling alone, obviously hostels were fun. But the thing about hostels, why I stopped doing hostels and I never done them too much, it's because even for me as an extrovert, that's just too much. like it's fun if you're just in hostels, but if you're actually traveling full time, it's always the same conversations.
Yes.
And now and also as a nomad on nomad events. Like, I was just to Bansko, it's exhausting. We were even joking about we should have cards that we just pull up for every question, for like answers of like, I'm doing this. Yeah, this many. Yeah, this is my favorite. Yeah, okay. Are we done? Yeah. Can we move on, please? And hostels were like the extreme of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you don't get past that superficial level, right? You're always asking, what's your name? What do you do for work? What do you like? What's your favorite place you travel to? Yeah. And then you move on to the next place, so you don't ever break that barrier.
Level 2 conversations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think at a Nomad festival, should I ever like my own, which maybe one day I would, because also, Dani, we should talk systems and logistics, because that is my jam. And Dani should know that I'm like more organized. He almost was ready to record when we were doing our pre-chat, and I was like, "Whoa! We're not. We got systems here, buddy."
I was so surprised. I was so surprised.
But I feel like at a
what?
Nomad
That's too
festival,
professional.
at a Nomad festival, I'm going to give people, and if anyone's listening who runs one, you can steal this idea. Just let me know that you did. A T-shirt that has like name and then an underline, and you give them a Sharpie, and then everyone wears their shirt around, and then it says like what they do or what you want to talk to them about, and then so when you introduce yourself to them, you can't ask them their name, what they do, where they're from, because it's on their T-shirt. So then you have to ask them something that's a little bit more thought-provoking. But sometimes it's due language barriers and stuff. We had a previous episode on how to meet friends and some of these pickup lines we're using. But I think something, instead of saying, what do you do for work? What's one thing that excites you about your job? What's a highlight from the past week of your work? These kind of things that aren't allowing, oh yeah, I just do a little bit of ad work. If I asked you what's one of your favorite things from this week in your job, you have to think and describe something to me in your work that's more than just.
But I also just believe in natural connection, and I mean it makes sense to think of events in a way of how to make people come together. There's so many also natural ways for that. Like what I used to do when I was smoking, so a week ago. What I used to do when I was what I used to do when I was smoking and being in hostels and stuff is pretending to not have a lighter. It's such an amazing thing. You come up and you're asking for fire, and then then you can decide: are you open? Is the conversation flowing already? No, fine. I just ask for a lighter. Bye. Or are you just staying? And people never mind. Nobody ever realizes. Yeah, just go to events and dance with people. Like breaking through the superficial. I don't know. And I always feel like it's not me, but I think it's also me. Standing on events and you're just having sometimes the same chain of questions, and you're. I once called it out. I was like, can we please, can we skip this? And then the other person was like, oh, thanks God, right? I hate it. And I was like, why do we do this in the first place? It's so weird.
Yeah. I think I have to say I've always been jealous of smokers only for that component of it, because I think what it is you have something in common. You have something instantly in common. You have a mutual understanding that we're all going to be standing here for X amount of time. So we could either make it an awkward interaction or we could interact together. And because obviously this is a repetitive behavior, you're doing it all the time. And so it becomes very normal to have the cigarette attach this habit with also socializing. And I think that's a huge component of reasons why people continue the addiction. But it's they don't want to give up that, like, oh, but I love standing outside and meeting new people and like talking with people, especially traveling. And I get that. I could see the appeal to that, but unfortunately it's attached to something that for some people is not good for their lifestyle. But let's not get into that deeper part of things. But I can see the appeal, and if there was a way that we could somehow indicate to other folks that we're interested to get to know them, it would be an amazing world.
Dani, what is the dream now? If you were to picture your future 5 years from now, what would it look like?
Money's not an issue, or there's no limitations to the finances. I shouldn't say money is an issue, but
it would be so not fun if money wasn't an issue.
You like the challenge of it?
No, I wouldn't say
Are you playing bartender right now as well?
Maybe I should open a bottle of wine. This is a wine conversation. I think
we've never had someone like pour a full drink while recording.
No,
this is just typical Dani. You have energy, like.
What are you like? No, that's water.
I know most people just like don't. They just wait till the episode's done. But we love you for it. Like. Anyway,
that's their problem.
You're so
Sorry,
authentically yourself.
That's my way of going through life. So I want a house, and I want 2 or 3 of those. I want to have bases in at least 2 or 3 places for taxation purposes, but also just for seasonality, I guess. And I want the business that I'm running right now to be. I want to be a real CEO. Like I want to be the thinker, and somebody else is executing. I think that's very possible quicker than I think it is, but it takes so much work from me. It's like, especially because this is absolutely not something I'm talented in. It's going to take a while, and want to do way more actually purposeful work, and having my own service or product, doing way more consulting than I do right now. I enjoy consulting. I enjoy talking to people. Yeah. Maybe already kids. What, 5 years?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Wow.
We love to see it. I'm ready to be an auntie again. So just saying, let me
Again?
know. I have two. I'm a fur auntie. I've got a cat and a dog as my
Ugh.
nieces. And I'm a very good auntie right now. I've been told I'm definitely taking care of this puppy very well. So just saying, wherever you are in the world, I'll come be nanny, and I'm good at cooking, cleaning, and taking care. You just have to give me rent.
She'll use the kitchen that you said you don't use.
I'll bake cookies.
Yeah.
Cookies.
But Dani, where would the locations be in your mind? You said you want 2 or 3 locations.
So one of them must be Portugal. One of them must be in the mountains, probably Italy, Austria, or maybe some Latin America, which I haven't been to, and one Asia for sure.
Amazing.
My highest appeal is Thailand. I've lived in Indonesia, never gonna go there again in my life. That's how I'm talking right now. Like in Indonesia, I don't think this is for me sustainable for long term. Thailand very much is. Thailand is also huge, so you can have everything in Thailand, especially the north. And for Europe, certainly Portugal, if I could own a place, because renting is extremely, extremely expensive. And well, I still have my family in Europe, so there potentially, but somewhere in the mountains. I'm a skier. I wanna have a winter place too. Skip the winter for so many years now in a row. Like I need some snow.
I mean, where you're talking to two
Canada.
Canadians here.
Yeah.
I love a good winter. Like I miss hoodie season, and I mean, I love traveling. I love the heat. It's nice. Your suitcase is lighter, but then there is something about coming home and just putting on the socks, the sweatpants, the hoodies, the layers.
And not having to go outside. Like how nice is it when you see that it's crappy weather outside? You look out and you're like, oh, I can stay here and read a book. I don't have to go outside for a run. Like it's cold outside.
Jenny's like, introverts are happy right now.
Yeah, honestly. I can cancel plans because the roads are bad. It's amazing.
Okay, we've got some rapid fire-ish questions for you, Dani. And this is one question I hate getting asked, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Right now, top of mind, with no context, favorite country currently. What's at the top of the list?
No, don't.
I hate getting asked this because I always say for what reason.
No. Because there's so many categories. You can't do that. Like look. There's amazing countries, but there's also amazing cities. But the country is shit. Like I would not want to live in North Macedonia, but Ohrid is pretty fine. I would not want to live in Bulgaria, but Bansko or Sofia is pretty fine. I hate Germany, but I like what place in Germany, right? So favorite country, Portugal.
Okay, favorite city then. Favorite city.
Favorites, that's even more difficult.
Okay, we have quite a North American audience. So if there was someone had a 1-week vacation and they want to experience more culture outside of North American culture, what city are you recommending to them?
Easy to fly to is always Portugal. It's the nearest, and also France. I think if you're also staying on the western side of France, you're going to have an amazing time with lots of nature and castles and stuff, especially like there's everything on the West Coast you can have in Europe. Like West Coast of Europe is amazing.
Okay, take us outside of Western Europe because everyone only goes there. So take us somewhere else.
Go to Czech Republic. Czech Republic is very culturally rich. It's not expensive. It has amazing nature as well. The people are warm. For Eastern Europeans, are very welcoming. Poland as well, even cheaper, very modern, very nice. If you would want to go to Asia and you want a cultural shock, go to Singapore, go to Bangkok. If you want some beaches, then definitely check out Lombok. Bali's beaches are amazing, like the small islands in between. If you want some nice communities, go to Chiang Mai. If you want little tiny cozy streets, definitely some Vienna, Central European cities. If you want some very cold people, go up north.
The farther north you go, the colder they are. We know this. I mean, we're kind people here, but like we're farther, the colder the country, the colder the people, the warmer the country, the warmer the people.
Yeah.
In first interactions.
Yes. Yeah. Because if, for example, I can think of like my Finnish friend, and when I met her in Malaysia, I hope she doesn't mind me talking about her, but it's fine. When I met her in Malaysia, I thought that she hated me. I was like, oh, okay, I don't want to talk to you ever again, whatever. And then she met her boyfriend, and my boyfriend and her boyfriend were friends. So then that's how we kind of got to know each other. Now she's my best friend. Now I love her. And I asked her to begin with, why did you hate me? What was going on there? She's like, I didn't hate you. I just don't do small talk. We don't do small talk in Finland. We don't say, how are you doing? I don't care how you're doing unless I actually really care how you're doing. And I'm like, okay, cool. I like it. I like the directness.
Whereas the South Americans are, hi, how are you? Oh my gosh. There's so much first interaction with them, but it's harder to get to know them deeply because you can't tell the Finnish. You'll know if they like you, but the other, the reverse warmer cultures, you're not sure if they like you because they like everybody to begin with.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
What's one cultural shocks, but yeah.
What's one country right now is just like you won't return to? You don't have to explain why if you don't want. Moldova, just not on your list.
It's just a shithole.
Okay. Great. Love the honesty.
Actually, I met a very cool Moldovan guy here, and then he promised me to show me the better side, but it was so bad I went to Ukraine during war. Like it was so bad I went to the bus station, I took the first bus out, and the first bus was to Odessa, to Ukraine. And I would say also I would not return to Ukraine during war because that was not the smartest idea I've had in my life. But Moldova just sucks. That was so horrible.
Wow.
And am I correct in saying Moldova, they speak Russian or a dialect of Russian?
They speak Russian as well, but they also have their own language, Moldovan. And they also speak a lot of Romanian.
Romanian. Okay, so were you finding communication easy with people, or it was still a struggle?
I stayed for 2 hours. I left after 2 hours in Moldova. I was like, I saw it and I was like, what am I doing here? And then I left.
Wow. Okay. This is prime Dani. Solo travel version.
We took a train. We took a night train from amazing Bucharest. Like Romania that's on the list. Romania. One of my favorite cities from last year, Romania. Bucharest. Such an amazing city. So lovely. It's a mix of like Portuguese, like something Lisbon-ish, and some St. Petersburg and Central European architecture. So nice. And then we take a night train, which is the oldest train in history. Some Soviet-ass thing. And I needed, the first time in my life, I bribed the staff to get a room for myself. I needed to give them a bribe. Like in the movies, like this is how I grew up in the movies. Like Eastern Europeans, just give him a little bit, then you get a bit. That's why am I here? Like I don't want my trauma to come up again. Like I don't need some Soviet asphalt under my feet. Let's leave. So I went to Ukraine. And Ukraine, on the other hand, was so beautiful.
Okay, got it. I would say like
5-minute rant.
No, it's great though. Yeah. No, I love the passion. I love the directness. I love that you were quick to make decisions. My only counter to people listening is I think I've arrived in places too. Personally, Bucharest is not high on my list to return to as well. But I think I would return and give it another chance because, okay, maybe it's not going to be your favorite place, but what if you met some awesome people? People make your experience so different as well. So I think it depends. The activities or the atmosphere may not be. And obviously you have a different background than I do. But I think any place you can always find the good in it, but it just might not be good enough. Or you just had choice.
Or it might not
beautiful.
Just be for you. Yeah. That could also be, right? It could, like you guys just said, Anna just said, Bucharest was not for her, but Dani, you loved it. Yeah. So it could also just be personal preference. But 100% what Anna said as well, that the people that you meet there make your experience. Because if you're just by yourself, even as an introvert, if you're just by yourself, it's less fun than if you meet somebody, you get to share experiences with them.
But even if you're by yourself, there's places where you feel comfortable and safe. Let's say safety is a big thing, right? I'm feeling way more like I'm enjoying things if I'm not walking past.
And let's give context. You're what, 6'2", 6'3"?
Yeah, I'm a white privileged heterosexual cis man. Yeah, and I'm very tall too.
How tall are you?
I'm 195 centimeters, so 6'1".
I'm converting 6'4" almost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
all right,
you got a foot on me.
Yeah.
12 inches. Well, 30 centimeters. I'm doing all the conversions. So if you don't feel safe in a space, there's no way I'm feeling more comfortable, I think.
And then if it's walkable, like Asia is not walkable. Asia, you need a community, or it must be very beautiful to be worth it. For me, it must be walkable, it must be pretty. It's nice to look at. I wanna walk around cities. I like cities because of because of the urban exploration. And then I want the coffee to be good. I want the food to be at least okay wherever I'm going. And I want to feel people are around me and it's alive. And Bucharest was all of that in the summer, same as Lisbon always is. And Moldova wasn't.
Gotcha. Are you ever going to come to Canada?
I was in Vancouver last year.
Okay, for a day.
No, for 10 days, actually. You just missed me.
Okay, well, are you going to come to the mountains? Are you going to come again?
I've been to the mountains too. I've been to, what's the name of it? Yeah, I will come again, certainly. I'm actually flying to Seattle in October. I'm going to be in Seattle, but then I'm heading off to Asia. But I will definitely come to Canada again. But not for skiing. I've seen your passes. They're like 300 Canadians a day. Like,
yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah,
but beautiful.
They're, I mean, but the you're getting different mountains.
300 a day beautiful?
You're skiing the Rocky Mountains. You're not skiing. Yeah. I mean, I've skied some French, like Alps are beautiful too, but the mountains here are just a different scale. The mountain, the runs are so high.
Yeah.
They're elite. It's from someone who only does blue and green runs.
I would. Okay,
you can do heli skiing. You can take helicopters up and ski down.
It's a very big tourist.
I mean, yeah, you got to pay like a pretty penny, but you get a guide, you're going up. It's a day experience too, because you have to get prepared, and you have to be a very elite skier too, because you're doing, double black diamonds and stuff. You're doing back roads and things, but you can get helicoptered up and then, skiing down. It's a long run down. All right, Dani, it's been so nice to chat with you. We've made us laugh, but where can people find you online if they want to connect with you? You're traveling everywhere, so it's going to be hard to meet up because always changing locations, but where can people find you online?
I think Instagram is probably the best traveler thing because of stories. Suddenly somebody's posting they're in Albania and I'm like, 2 kilometers away. So it's Dani Visnak, Dani with the double N and a Y, and then Visnak, Dani Visnak on Instagram, and Visnakovs.de if you're interested in digital marketing and a paid ads consultation.
Awesome. And you work in, for sure, German and English and Russian. If you're looking for a trilingual person to help you, it's very, very fascinating. I love watching some of your marketing work for your ads, but it's all in German and I've got a lot of German to learn.
Yeah, I've been posting in German recently. That's a little bit harder, but
yeah. And it's always weird when you know your friend only in one language, and I've never really seen you around other Germans. I forgot about this side of you.
And then people also have different tones when they speak in a different language. Like my tone in German is so much higher than in English.
Really?
Yeah, wenn ich Deutsch spreche, dann ist meine Stimme viel höher. And when I talk English, it's lower. Did you hear it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Slightly higher.
Yeah.
That's funny. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Dani, for joining us today.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
You're so welcome. We are Where She Builds. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, wherever else you listen to your podcast. I'm Anna, your travel friend Anna, joined always by Shandy at Coach Shandy, and we will see you in the next episode. Ciao for now.
Bye-bye, guys.